The Pacific Ocean looks peaceful, but beneath this enormous sea, Earth is hiding forces powerful enough to. The Pacific Ocean is not silent at all, because every movement of the sea is connected to deeper, invisible energy.
This peaceful sea is only the outer skin of a much larger and more restless ocean system.
Below the calm sea surface, the Pacific Ocean carries heat, pressure, and geological stress across unimaginable distances.
That the Pacific Ocean is both a cradle of life and one of the greatest engines of natural disaster on Earth.
To understand where earthquakes, tsunamis, and superstorms begin, we must look beyond the surface of the sea. Beneath the sea surface, the Pacific Ocean becomes a hidden world shaped by pressure, darkness, and time. Most of the Pacific Ocean is hidden beneath light, where the sea begins to reveal its true scale and power. That the deeper the Pacific Ocean becomes, the closer we move toward the forces that shape the planet from below. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea lies the restless foundation where the story of earthquakes, tsunamis, and superstorms truly begins. The Pacific Ocean seafloor is not a quiet, empty plain, but a vast, hidden landscape shaped by pressure, movement, and ancient force.
Beneath this enormous ocean, the foundation of the Earth is cracked, folded, and constantly changing.
These silent scars on the Pacific Ocean floor mark the places where immense geological stress can slowly build.
The Pacific Ocean hides boundaries, where sections of Earth's crust press against one another in silence. Deep under the Pacific Ocean Sea, pressure does not disappear. It waits, gathers, and strengthens. Even the smallest movement in this deep ocean world can be the first sign of a much larger force awakening. That the Pacific Ocean contains some of the deepest and most active geological regions on the planet. That the deeper the Pacific Ocean becomes, the more it reveals a world where stillness can hide enormous danger. Earthquakes in the Pacific Ocean begin when stored pressure finally overcomes the strength of rock. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the first quiet signs of a future earthquake may already be beginning. The Pacific Ocean often gives its first warning deep below the sea, long before anything changes at the surface. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, pressure can remain trapped for centuries before releasing in a single violent moment. The Pacific Ocean rests on moving plates, and where those plates lock together, invisible energy begins to accumulate. This deep-sea silence is deceptive, because the Pacific Ocean floor is slowly storing the force that can shake entire coastlines. When rock beneath the Pacific Ocean can no longer hold against pressure, the stored energy begins to search for release. Trenches beneath the Pacific Ocean mark places where one plate may be forced beneath another, creating some of Earth's most powerful seismic zones. In the Pacific Ocean, the greatest disasters often begin with movements so deep that the surface sea remains unaware. Every layer of rock beneath the Pacific Ocean carries a record of collisions, ruptures, and pressure built over geological time. An earthquake beneath the Pacific Ocean does not begin as a single image, but as a chain of stress, resistance, and sudden release. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, calm is never proof of safety, because the next movement may begin without warning. The Pacific Ocean can return to silence, even when the forces beneath the sea have not disappeared. Under this sea, stillness is only a pause between movements of the Earth. Every fracture beneath the Pacific Ocean is part of a larger system that links deep geology to the sea above.
The Pacific Ocean hides an enormous architecture of stress, where pressure can travel across the ocean floor without being seen at the surface. When the seafloor moves, the entire Pacific Ocean above it becomes part of the transfer of energy. The ocean does not need to break open violently to carry danger. Sometimes the first signal is a silent movement through water.
Energy born under the Pacific Ocean can move upward and outward through the sea long before the world recognizes its power. The Pacific Ocean is a bridge between the planet's inner force and the atmosphere that shapes storms above. This single ocean can carry energy from the seafloor into waves, from warm water into clouds, and from silence into catastrophe. The Pacific Ocean is never only what we see on the surface, because beneath this sea, earthquakes may begin. The Pacific Ocean always returns to beauty on the surface, even when the deep sea below continues to hold the memory of pressure and movement. What happens beneath the Pacific Ocean may remain invisible, but its consequences can travel across the sea with unstoppable force. The Pacific Ocean is connected from its deepest trenches to its highest storm clouds. Beneath this sea, the earth can shake. Above this sea, storms can grow. And across this sea, the Pacific Ocean is not one story, but many forces moving together beneath one endless surface. Every calm ocean scene in the Pacific carries the possibility of sudden transformation. This opening journey has only revealed the first layer of the Pacific Ocean, because the deeper story begins where the seafloor meets the movement. To understand earthquakes beneath the Pacific Ocean, we must descend again into the places where tectonic plates collide, lock, and for the next part of this Pacific Ocean story, we'll enter the Ring of Fire, where the sea hides volcanoes, trenches, and earthquake zones, powerful lakes fold. The Pacific Ocean is the silent giant of Earth, and beneath this vast sea begins the path toward earthquake. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea lies the Ring of Fire, a vast hidden boundary where the planet's crust is restless. Along the Pacific Ocean trenches, one tectonic plate can be forced beneath another, creating some of the strongest earthquakes the planet can produce. The Ring of Fire beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea is where pressure gathers, rocks resist, and the first hidden steps toward earthquake begin. Inside the Pacific Ocean Sea, the Ring of Fire is not a single place, but a vast chain of hidden collision zones wrapped around the ocean basin. These layers beneath the Pacific Ocean were shaped by millions of years of pressure, collision, eruption, and slow tectonic movement. Where tectonic plates meet beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the rock does not slide smoothly. It locks, bends, and stores force. This hidden resistance beneath the Pacific Ocean is what allows earthquake energy to build quietly over time. The Ring of Fire beneath the Pacific Ocean is a place where the surface of the planet is constantly being recycled, crushed, and reborn. Volcanoes beneath the Pacific Ocean reveal how closely fire and water exist together in this hidden world. Heat escaping from beneath the Pacific Ocean is another sign that the Earth below this sea is still intensely active. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, tectonic plates do not move freely. They grind, resist, and lock against each other. When one plate is forced beneath another under the Pacific Ocean, the rock can bend under impossible pressure without breaking immediately. This bending beneath the Pacific Ocean stores energy slowly, silently, and relentlessly. That each tiny fracture beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea is a warning that the locked boundary is approaching its limit. The Ring of Fire beneath the Pacific Ocean is a chain reaction of pressure moving through rock, water, and time. Before a major earthquake beneath the Pacific Ocean, the seafloor may show only quiet signs of pressure seeking escape. But when the locked plates beneath the Pacific Ocean finally slip, the release can shake the seabed with extraordinary force. This is the hidden moment when the Pacific Ocean begins to transform stored pressure into seismic motion. Even before the largest movement arrives, the Pacific Ocean floor can begin to ripple with warnings written in sand, stone, and pressure. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the Ring of Fire is now fully awake, and the next movement may be the first true step toward an earthquake. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, pressure does not always release at once. It first announces itself through subtle motion in rock, sand, and water. That this locked boundary under the Pacific Ocean has held back immense force. But every tremor means the balance is weakening.
When seismic pressure starts to move beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the first disturbance may travel through stone before it travels through water.
Along the Pacific Ocean Ring of Fire, trenches mark the places where the planet folds its crust downward and stores dangerous energy. That beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, Even a small upward movement of the ocean floor can become the beginning of a much larger event. The Pacific Ocean hides the moment when pressure becomes motion, and motion becomes the first language of an earthquake. That under this vast sea, the Earth can hold still for centuries, then move in seconds with enough force to disturb the entire ocean above. An earthquake beneath the Pacific Ocean is not only a movement of rock, it is the beginning of an energy transfer into the sea itself. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the ring of fire has moved from silent pressure into active strain, and the final rupture is now close. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the ring of fire has reached the moment when stored pressure can no longer remain hidden. An earthquake beneath the Pacific Ocean begins when locked rock finally gives way. When the Pacific Ocean floor shifts suddenly, the movement is not only local, it becomes energy transferred into the sea above.
That this vertical movement beneath the Pacific Ocean is one of the critical forces that can disturb an enormous mass of water.
The sea itself does not create the first force. The Pacific Ocean receives that force from the sudden motion of the Earth below.
Deep under the Pacific Ocean, an earthquake is not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new motion through the sea.
The terrifying truth of the Pacific Ocean is that disaster can begin deep below, while the surface remains almost unchanged. This contrast is what makes the Pacific Ocean so dangerous. A peaceful surface can conceal a violent transformation underneath. Once the Pacific Ocean floor has moved, the next question is whether that movement has pushed enough water to form a tsunami. Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the Ring of Fire has released its first great force, and in the next chapter, the sea itself will show how an earthquake can become a tsunami.
When the Pacific Ocean floor shifts, the sea above it may become the next carrier of Earth's power.
A tsunami does not begin as a towering wave, but as energy moving quietly through the ocean. In the open Pacific Ocean, tsunami energy can travel across enormous distances while barely changing the surface. The Pacific Ocean can carry this energy like a message written through water.
When part of the Pacific Ocean floor rises or drops suddenly, it pushes the water above into motion.
The sea does not move because of wind here. It moves because the ground beneath the Pacific Ocean has changed shape.
The size of the displaced seafloor helps determine how much water the Pacific Ocean will set in motion.
In deep water, tsunami waves are often long, fast, and low, hiding their strength across the vast Pacific Ocean. This is what makes the Pacific Ocean so deceptive. The first stage of a tsunami may pass beneath a calm-looking sea.
The tsunami has begun, not as destruction, but as silent energy racing across the Pacific Ocean. Across the deep Pacific Ocean, the first stage of a tsunami may be almost invisible to the eye.
In deep water, tsunami energy can travel fast, while the ocean surface remains deceptively low and smooth. The Pacific Ocean can carry a tsunami across thousands of kilometers before the wave begins to rise. The deeper the ocean, the more efficiently the Pacific Ocean allows this energy to move.
A tsunami is not simply a surface wave, but a movement involving a vast depth of water.
Unlike ordinary wind waves, tsunami energy reaches deep into the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean transforms the earthquake's sudden force into a traveling pulse of water. The Pacific Ocean can hide great danger inside motion, too broad and low to appear threatening. Only when this energy approaches shallower water will the Pacific Ocean begin to reveal its true power. The Pacific Ocean is carrying the wave toward shallower ground, where silence will begin to turn into height. The Pacific Ocean is now carrying the hidden force away from deep water and toward the place where the wave will begin to change. As the Pacific Ocean becomes shallower, the energy has less space to remain hidden. When tsunami energy reaches shallower parts of the Pacific Ocean, the wave begins to slow down.
The wave loses speed, but it does not lose energy.
The Pacific Ocean begins converting hidden horizontal motion into visible height. This is the transformation stage, when the Pacific Ocean begins to reveal the force that had been hidden across deep water.
The shallower the Pacific Ocean becomes, the more the wave is forced upward.
Below the surface, the Pacific Ocean is already moving with dangerous strength.
A tsunami becomes most dangerous when the Pacific Ocean forces deep energy into shallow form. The Pacific Ocean has begun turning silent energy into a visible wall of water. The Pacific Ocean has now forced hidden deep water energy into a visible wave approaching shallow ground. Before the great surge arrives, the Pacific Ocean may first reveal its warning by withdrawing from the coast.
This sudden retreat is not calm, but water being pulled into the growing force of the tsunami.
The Pacific Ocean is now compressing motion, depth, and distance into a single advancing surge.
A tsunami is powerful not only because of its height, but because an enormous volume of Pacific Ocean water is moving behind it.
What began as a movement of the seafloor has become a moving mass of ocean. Below the surface, the Pacific Ocean tsunami is not a simple wave, but a deep, moving body of water.
As the Pacific Ocean enters the final shallow zone, the wave becomes slower, taller, and far more destructive.
The Pacific Ocean is now releasing the energy that began far below on the seafloor.
The Pacific Ocean has transformed an unseen earthquake into a visible force capable of reshaping the edge of land. The Pacific Ocean does not strike as a single wave, but as a moving body of water carrying the weight of the entire sea behind it.
That once tsunami water reaches land, the Pacific Ocean becomes a horizontal force, more dangerous than height alone.
The same energy born from the seafloor now reshapes the boundary between ocean and land.
Tsunami danger continues even when the first impact appears to pass, because the Pacific Ocean can pull back with nearly the same force it arrived with.
A tsunami is often not one wave, but a sequence of surges moving through the Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific Ocean can send repeated waves because the original earthquake energy continues moving through the sea. The Pacific Ocean reveals how a movement deep under the seafloor can travel outward until it changes the shape and rhythm of distant shores.
Earthquakes and tsunamis are only one face of the Pacific Ocean's power. Above the same ocean, another force begins when heat, moisture, wind, and pressure gather over the sea.
The Pacific Ocean can turn seafloor motion into tsunamis, and in the next chapter, this same sea will reveal how the Pacific Ocean does not only create danger from below, it also feeds storms from above. Warm ocean water is the first fuel source for the storms that grow over the Pacific Ocean. Every breath of moisture rising from the Pacific Ocean Sea can help build the atmosphere of a future superstorm. When warm air lifts from the Pacific Ocean, it carries water vapor upward and begins the first step of storm formation.
Above the Pacific Ocean, small clouds can become organized when heat, humidity, and wind begin to work together. A superstorm does not appear suddenly. It begins as many small disturbances gathering strength over the sea. Rotation begins when winds over the Pacific Ocean organize around a center of falling pressure.
As pressure drops, the Pacific Ocean sends more moisture upward, feeding the storm like an engine.
The ocean and atmosphere are now locked together, each strengthening the other over the Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific Ocean has begun turning heat into motion, and motion into the first structure of a superstorm.
Every wave, Every gust and every rising plume of moisture helps the Pacific Ocean strengthen the storm above it. The storm begins to tighten as warm air rises and surrounding winds spiral inward over the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is now supplying the storm with the moisture it needs to grow taller, wider, and more organized.
Falling pressure allows winds to accelerate, and accelerating winds draw even more energy from the Pacific Ocean surface.
That the storm is no longer a loose disturbance, because the Pacific Ocean has helped it form a rotating core. As the core strengthens, the Pacific Ocean and atmosphere begin exchanging energy faster than before. Within these rain bands, the storm pulls heat from the Pacific Ocean and releases it upward into the growing atmosphere. This is the stage when the Pacific Ocean begins transforming a tropical disturbance into a dangerous, organized cyclone.
Over the Pacific Ocean, the storm has entered a dangerous phase, where heat, moisture, wind, and rotation begin building the foundation of a superstorm.
Over the Pacific Ocean, the storm has begun to draw energy from a wider region of warm sea.
The warmer the Pacific Ocean surface remains, the longer the storm can continue feeding and intensifying.
The storm's rotation forces the sea surface to respond in circles, not straight lines.
Inside the storm, warm Pacific Ocean moisture rises, cools, condenses, and releases heat that strengthens the cyclone from within.
This release of heat is what allows the Pacific Ocean storm to grow taller and more powerful.
When pressure continues to fall over the Pacific Ocean, winds accelerate inward and the storm begins to tighten around its core.
The Pacific Ocean is now giving the storm both moisture from below and friction from the sea surface, shaping its destructive structure. That every spiral band is a pathway carrying heat and moisture from the Pacific Ocean into the storm. The Pacific Ocean has now helped transform scattered storms into a single organized atmospheric machine.
Over the Pacific Ocean, the storm is nearing the threshold where a powerful cyclone can become a true superstorm. Over the Pacific Ocean, the cyclone is now approaching the threshold where ordinary storm structure becomes extreme atmospheric power.
The Pacific Ocean continues feeding the storm from below, sending heat and moisture upward faster than the atmosphere can release it.
The stronger the winds become, the more violently the Pacific Ocean transfers energy back into the storm.
The more violently the Pacific Ocean transfers energy back into the storm. Inside these cloud towers, the Pacific Ocean releases symmetry is a sign that the Pacific Ocean storm is concentrating its energy around a powerful core.
The eye wall is where some of the most violent winds over the Pacific Ocean begin to concentrate.
At this stage, the Pacific Ocean is no longer just beneath the storm. It has become part of the storm's engine.
When wind, pressure, and warm sea surface align over the Pacific Ocean, the storm can intensify with terrifying speed.
The Pacific Ocean has now helped build a storm powerful enough to organize around a central eye.
That over the Pacific Ocean, the superstorm has found its center, and once the eye becomes stable, the storm can reach its most dangerous form.
Over the Pacific Ocean, the storm has now entered its most organized and dangerous stage. The eye may look peaceful, but around it, the Pacific Ocean is feeding the storm's strongest winds. The eye wall is the place where heat from the Pacific Ocean becomes violent atmospheric motion.
Beneath the storm, the Pacific Ocean is no longer calm water. It is a moving engine of heat, friction, and force. The stronger the winds become, the more the storm extracts energy from the warm Pacific Ocean beneath it. From above, the superstorm appears almost beautiful, but its beauty is built from ocean heat, falling pressure, and destructive wind. The Pacific Ocean gives storms the space and fuel to grow into some of the largest weather systems on Earth. That once a superstorm begins moving across the Pacific Ocean, its power is no longer limited to the open sea. The Pacific Ocean can carry a storm's force outward through waves, surge, rain, and wind, long before the eye reaches land.
That the Pacific Ocean has turned heat into a superstorm, and in the next chapter, the sea will reveal what happens when this power reaches.
When the Pacific Ocean sends its power toward land, the coast becomes the first place where ocean, wind, rain, and waves collide. The Pacific Ocean does not need cities or people to reveal its force. Even an untouched coast can show the full violence of the sea.
Every wave arriving from the Pacific Ocean carries the combined work of wind, pressure, and distance.
Storm surge begins when the Pacific Ocean is pushed toward land by powerful winds and falling pressure.
The coast is not facing a single wave, but an entire ocean surface being driven forward by the storm. Coastlines are shaped by countless moments like this, when the Pacific Ocean cuts, moves, and rebuilds the edge of land. Beneath the breaking waves, the Pacific Ocean is grinding the shoreline with force that cannot be seen from above.
The Pacific Ocean does not strike once and stop. It sends wave after wave, until the coastline is transformed.
That this is where the superstorm reveals its reach, turning ocean heat into coastal impact. The Pacific Ocean has carried the storm's power to the shore, and now the coastline must absorb the force of a restless sea.
The coastline is now receiving the full combined force of Pacific Ocean waves, wind, rain, and storm surge.
Every impact from the Pacific Ocean removes sand, loosens stone, and changes the shape of the shore.
Cliffs may look permanent, but the Pacific Ocean carves them through countless storms, impacts, and returning tides. During a powerful storm, the sea does not simply touch the coast. The Pacific Ocean enters every weak point it can find. The force of the Pacific Ocean becomes even stronger when it is compressed into confined coastal spaces.
The storm continues to send new waves across the Pacific Ocean faster than the coastline can recover.
Storm surge is not a single dramatic moment, but a repeated rise of the Pacific Ocean over the land's edge.
That the Pacific Ocean changes coastlines by repetition, not only by one catastrophic strike.
After each wave, the shore is slightly different, because the Pacific Ocean removes, deposits, and rearranges everything it touches.
The Pacific Ocean is not only attacking the coastline in this moment. It is rewriting the boundary between land and sea.
The Pacific Ocean does not only arrive with force, it remains long enough to reshape everything fragile along the coast.
Every channel carved by the Pacific Ocean becomes a temporary river of storm water flowing across the coast.
Storm surge allows the Pacific Ocean to move beyond its normal edge and temporarily occupy the land.
During a major storm, the Pacific Ocean can divide the coastline into shifting zones of impact, retreat, erosion, and return.
Natural coastal wetlands can absorb part of the Pacific Ocean's force, but even they bend under repeated storm surge.
These living edges can slow the sea, but they cannot stop the Pacific Ocean when a superstorm pushes water relentlessly inland. The coastline is not a fixed line during a storm. It becomes a changing zone where the Pacific Ocean and land overlap.
Each new wave from the Pacific Ocean arrives over a coastline already altered by the waves before it.
The Pacific Ocean becomes most effective at reshaping land when surge, waves, runoff, and retreating currents work together. The Pacific Ocean has turned the coast into a living record of impact, where every wave leaves evidence of the storm's power. Every mark left by the Pacific Ocean is evidence of energy traveling from deep water to fragile land.
Storm surge turns the meeting point between land and sea into a moving frontier.
On a storm coast, the Pacific Ocean moves in both directions at once, pushing inland and pulling the shoreline back toward the sea.
That erosion is often created by this repealed exchange, as the Pacific Ocean removes material with each retreat and returns with new force.
This is how the Pacific Ocean amplifies its own impact, using earlier damage to carry later waves farther inland.
Below the surface,
the Pacific Ocean is grinding, lifting, sorting, and carrying pieces of the coast with every pulse. The Pacific Ocean leaves behind patterns that show where water climbed, where currents turned, and where the land gave way. The Pacific Ocean is both destroyer and sculptor, breaking the coast apart while shaping the next version of the shoreline. The Pacific Ocean is both destroyer and sculptor, breaking the coast apart while shaping the next version of the shoreline. Every retreating flow carries pieces of the coastline back into the Pacific Ocean. Cliffs resist the Pacific Ocean for centuries, yet every storm removes another invisible layer. After the strongest impact, the Pacific Ocean continues working through smaller movements that still alter the land. Natural coastlines recover slowly, but the Pacific Ocean always leaves behind evidence of where its power reached. That the coastline records the storm in patterns, showing where the Pacific Ocean pushed hardest and where the land yielded. Even as the storm begins to pass, the Pacific Ocean remains restless, carrying leftover surge, swell, and turbulence across the coast. The Pacific Ocean can appear to calm quickly, but the energy of a storm continues moving through waves long after the sky begins to clear. The Pacific Ocean does not separate earthquakes, tsunamis, storms, and coastlines. It connects them through one vast moving system. Terrestrials. The Pacific Ocean has shown its force at the coast, and in the final chapter, the story will return to the open sea the Pacific Ocean never truly stops, even after earthquakes, tsunamis, and superstorms have passed. From above, the Pacific Ocean may look calm again, but calm is only one moment in a much larger cycle. The Pacific Ocean remembers every force through motion, through temperature, through currents, and through the endless rhythm of the sea. Beneath the surface, the Pacific Ocean continues to move in layers long after the sky begins to clear. The ocean's greatest movements are often hidden below what the eye can see. Storms pass across the surface, but the deep Pacific Ocean keeps moving with ancient patience. Below the sea, the same geological forces continue to press, bend, and store energy for the future. The Pacific Ocean is never finished with its story, because the earth beneath it is still alive. The same ocean basin that produces earthquakes and tsunamis also holds the deep structures that keep the planet changing. That the Pacific Ocean is not a place where disasters simply end, but a living system where every ending becomes the beginning of another movement. The Pacific Ocean is not a place where forces disappear, but a vast system where energy is stored, transferred, and renewed. Every layer of the Pacific Ocean connects the restless seafloor below with the changing sky above. Peace in the Pacific Ocean is never emptiness. It is the quiet movement of a planet still alive. That these currents carry heat, nutrients, and motion across the Pacific Ocean long after storms have vanished from the sky. The same Pacific Ocean that carries tsunami energy also carries the warmth that can feed future storms. The Pacific Ocean always holds two truths at once: beauty at the surface and power beneath. After great violence, the Pacific Ocean can look peaceful again, but its silence is only the next chapter beginning. That every swell moving across the Pacific Ocean is part of a continuous exchange between wind, water, heat, and gravity. What appears to be empty ocean is actually a moving map of energy spread across the largest sea on Earth. The Pacific Ocean never truly rests, because beneath every calm wave, the planet continues to move. The Pacific Ocean never truly rests, because beneath every calm wave, the planet continues to move. The Pacific Ocean carries the memory of earthquakes, tsunamis, and superstorms not as scars alone, but as motion continuing. Even when the surface becomes smooth, the Pacific Ocean is still exchanging heat, pressure, and movement with the world around it. Below the surface, the Pacific Ocean continues its hidden circulation, carrying energy through layers the eye can barely understand. This layered movement connects the storm above, the wave across the surface,
and the tectonic force waiting far below. The Pacific Ocean is not defined only by disaster, but by the constant motion that makes life, weather, and geology part of one system. Every depth of the Pacific Ocean belongs to the same story, from the bright surface to the hidden floor where Earth's crust still shifts. Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the ring of fire may appear silent again, but silence does not mean the planet has stopped changing. The same seafloor that once released energy may one day store it again, continuing the endless cycle beneath the sea. The Pacific Ocean is a continuous bridge between Earth's deep pressure, the moving sea, and the changing sky. The Pacific Ocean connects the silent floor of the Earth with every wave, storm, and current moving above it. That the Pacific Ocean is never a still emptiness, but a constantly moving system carrying the memory of Earth's power. Every layer of the Pacific Ocean carries a different kind of motion, from deep pressure to surface wind. After each disturbance, the Pacific Ocean absorbs the energy, redistributes it, and continues moving. The surface beauty of the Pacific Ocean never erases the power hidden beneath it. This calm Pacific Ocean is not the end of the story, but the visible face of a deeper cycle still unfolding.
From this height, the Pacific Ocean appears peaceful, yet every pattern on the sea is shaped by wind, gravity, heat, and the motion of the planet.
The Pacific Ocean is a living force of the planet, always changing, always carrying energy, and always waiting for the next stage. The Pacific Ocean is a living force of the planet, always changing, always carrying energy. It's that what seems like calm on the Pacific Ocean surface is only one moment in an endless cycle of planetary motion. Beneath every wave, the Pacific Ocean still connects deep pressure, surface motion, atmospheric heat, and the coastlines shaped by its force. The Pacific Ocean is not separated into disasters and calmness, but held together by one continuous movement of sea, sky, and earth. The same unseen places that began this story remain beneath the Pacific Ocean, still storing heat, pressure, and possibility. Earthquakes may begin beneath the seafloor, tsunamis may cross the sea, and superstorms may rise from warm water. The Pacific Ocean is not an enemy and not a sleeping giant, but a living expression of a planet that is always shifting. To understand the Pacific Ocean is to understand that beauty and danger can exist in the same water, held together by the motion of Earth. The Pacific Ocean is where earthquakes can begin, where tsunamis can rise, where superstorms can grow.
At the edge of the desert, a hidden ocean world is waiting beneath the heat. From above, this sea looks too hot, too dry, and too salty for life. But beneath this burning surface, the ocean is not empty. This ocean is shaped by heat, salt, sunlight, and survival. Above the surface is desert. Below it, another world begins. The moment we enter the sea, the desert disappears. Here, the ocean becomes a city of color, shelter, and movement. Every corner of this sea gives life a place to hide, feed, and survive. In this ocean, survival often begins by moving together. This is the mystery of the Red Sea. How does life flourish in a hot and salty ocean? To answer that mystery, we must look closer at how this ocean builds life from hardship. The reef survives because each tiny organism plays a role in the ocean's larger design. In this ocean, survival begins with finding protection before danger arrives. The open ocean gives them space, but the reef gives them safety. Alone, each fish is fragile. Together, they become harder for the ocean's hunters to break. In this sea, every movement is a decision between feeding and being eaten. The reef is more than beauty. It is a fortress built by life itself. After every moment of danger, the ocean returns to its quiet rhythm. Some creatures survive this ocean not by strength, but through ancient partnerships. In the Red Sea, life survives because every small relationship strengthens the entire ocean world. A single partnership may seem small, but in this ocean, small connections hold the reef together. The reef is not one living thing, but thousands of lives woven through the sea. In this ocean, even movement becomes a language of survival. Where the open sea is dangerous, the smallest spaces become places of safety. In this ocean, survival is not only about strength, it is also about trust. Even in a harsh sea, cooperation can become a powerful survival strategy. Every creature that moves through this sea depends on the health of the reef around it. The ocean current delivers invisible meals to a world that never stops feeding. These tiny animals build the foundation of one of the most resilient ocean habitats on Earth. To understand how life survives in this sea, we must follow the reef from its smallest builders to its greatest challenges. Beyond the reef's beauty, the sea begins to test every life that depends on it. Here, the reef stands between safe shelter and the unknown sea. In this ocean, safety can vanish just a few meters from the reef. The sea brings food, but it also brings pressure that never stops. These corals may look fragile, but they are the architects of survival in this sea. Every mouthful in this ocean depends on a reef strong enough to endure heat and salt. When the sea becomes dangerous, darkness can become protection. Some hunters in this sea survive by waiting where the light cannot reach. In this ocean, survival often means knowing when not to move.
The Red Sea is beautiful because it is alive. And it is alive because every creature has learned to survive.
To survive here, life must understand both the shelter of the reef and the danger of the open sea. Ancient travelers crossed this ocean by instinct, moving through heat, salt, and shifting currents. For some creatures, survival means remembering roots the ocean has held for generations. Others survive this sea by disappearing into the world around them. In this ocean, even the sand can hide a living strategy. Every part of this sea offers a different way to stay alive. Predators are not outsiders here. They are part of the balance that shapes the ocean. In this ocean, fear is not chaos. It is information that keeps life moving.
The Red Sea is not simply beautiful. It is a test that every living thing must answer.
To understand how life survives here, we must first understand the sea itself, its heat, its salt, and its unforgiving power. To understand life in this ocean, we must first understand the heat pressing down from above. This sea receives sunlight with almost no shadow to soften its power. Around this ocean, the land is dry, and freshwater is rare. With little river water entering the sea, salt remains behind. Every day, the sun pulls water upward, but the salt stays in the ocean. This is why the Red Sea becomes saltier than many other ocean waters. For marine life, this salt is not just a background, it is a constant challenge. In shallow water, heat and light can become as powerful as any predator.
Here, even shade can be a survival tool.
Life survives in this ocean by using every small difference in temperature, light, and shelter. The reef creates micro-worlds inside the sea, each one offering a different chance to live.
These corals endure conditions that would weaken many reefs elsewhere.
A reef begins with tiny animals that must balance salt, heat, and hunger. Even in clear water, the ocean carries invisible food through the reef. What looks like stone is actually a living structure fighting to remain alive. The reef changes the ocean around it, turning harsh water into habitat. Inside the reef, the sea becomes slower, safer, and easier to survive.
Step beyond the shelter, and the ocean becomes demanding again.
Every second in this ocean requires energy, balance, and adaptation. In this sea, the reef is not only a home, it is protection from the ocean itself. Every breath in this ocean must manage salt, oxygen, and heat.
Small choices help life survive in a sea that never stops testing it.
The surface may look calm, but it controls the world below. Too little light would starve the reef. Too much heat can threaten it. Life here depends on balance. Enough sunlight to grow, not enough heat to fail.
Even resilient reefs carry signs of the pressure placed upon them. In this ocean, survival is never permanent. It must be renewed every day.
Depth offers relief from light, but it brings its own challenges. The deeper ocean gives less heat and less light, forcing life to change again. As conditions change, the ocean chooses different survivors. In this ocean, some creatures survive by turning beauty into defense. Warning colors are another language written into the ocean. The Red Sea is not one environment, but a staircase of changing conditions. From the surface to the depths, heat, salt, light, and pressure shape every life. Life survives here by finding the exact layer of ocean it can endure.
Away from the reef, the sea becomes wider, emptier, and harder to read.
In open water, survival depends on movement, awareness, and the strength to keep going.
The reef offers safety, but the wider ocean connects every part of the Red Sea.
Now that we understand the seal's heat and salt, we can enter the reef itself, where survival becomes a living city. The reef creates micro-worlds inside the sea, each one offering a different chance to live.
A reef begins with tiny animals that must balance salt, heat, and hunger.
A reef begins with tiny animals that must balance salt, heat, and hunger. Even in clear water, the ocean carries invisible food through the reef.
What looks like stone is actually a living structure fighting to remain alive.
The reef changes the ocean around it, turning harsh water into habitat.
Inside the reef, the sea becomes slower, safer, and easier to survive.
Step beyond the shelter, and the ocean becomes demanding again. Every second in this ocean requires energy, balance, and adaptation.
In this sea, the reef is not only a home, it is protection from the ocean itself. Every breath in this ocean must manage salt, oxygen, and heat.
Small choices help life survive in a sea that never stops testing it.
In this ocean, shade can be as important as food. The surface may look calm, but it controls the world below. Too little light would starve the reef. Too much heat from above, the ocean seems peaceful. But beneath this endless sea lies a wild kingdom ruled by hunters.
The deeper we enter the ocean, the more the sea reveals a world where every movement can mean survival or death. In the ocean, beauty and danger live side by side, because even the safest reef can become a hunting ground.
Small fish survive in the ocean by becoming one body, because in the open sea, a single mistake can expose them to the hunter.
In the ocean, prey often feel danger before they can see it, because the sea carries pressure, movement, and fear.
Some ocean predators do not need to be giants. In the sea, speed, silence, and timing can be just as deadly.
In the ocean, survival can depend on a gap in the reef, a turn of the current, or one moment of perfect stillness.
Long before humans explored the ocean, sharks were already shaping the balance of the sea with silence, patience, and instinct.
A shark does not rule the ocean through chaos, but through senses refined by millions of years beneath the sea.
Beyond the reef, the ocean opens into a greater arena, where the sea gives no shelter and only the fastest hunters can survive.
Out here in the open ocean, the sea belongs to creatures built for distance, speed, and relentless pursuit. In the ocean, speed is not only movement. In the sea, speed is survival, power, and control.
Across the open sea, there are no walls, no caves, and no coral branches. Only speed can decide who escapes.
When fear spreads through the ocean, prey gather into one shining shape, hoping the sea will hide the individual inside the crowd. In the ocean, every hunt is a battle between panic and precision, and the sea rewards the hunter that chooses the perfect moment.
The surface of the ocean may look like escape, but in the sea, danger can attack from every direction.
Some ocean predators do not rule by force alone. In the sea, intelligence can turn open water into a trap. In the ocean, teamwork can change the rules of the hunt, because one predator may chase, but many predators can control the sea.
After every chase, the ocean becomes quiet again, but the silence of the sea is never empty.
The ocean is not ruled by one kind of hunter, because the sea creates many forms of power, and each one claims its own territory.
Not every hunter in the ocean chases across the open sea. Some wait where the ocean itself becomes a trap.
In these narrow parts of the sea, the fastest creature does not always win. The one that understands the terrain may hold the power.
In the ocean, patience can become a weapon, and a motionless hunter can be more dangerous than one in pursuit.
A hunt in the ocean does not always begin with a chase, Sometimes it begins with silence, distance, and one mistake. In the sea, a single second can separate safety from capture, and after the strike, the ocean becomes quiet again.
Some ocean predators do not patrol the open sea. They turn darkness inside the reef into a doorway for hunting.
In the ocean, the line between home and hunting ground can be almost invisible.
The ocean does not hide every threat in shadow. Sometimes the sea displays danger in color, shape, and stillness.
In the ocean, survival is not always about being the largest. Sometimes it is about being impossible to attack.
The ocean creates many kinds of predators, and each one rules only where its own strength becomes the perfect weapon.
Even in the gentle corners of the ocean, the sea never stops testing the young, the weak, and the careless. In the ocean, safety is often temporary, because every hiding place can become a path for another hunter.
Every ruler of the ocean begins as a survivor, learning how the sea moves, hides, and reveals life.
The ocean teaches patience before power, because even predators must grow into their place in the sea.
The ocean is not only a battlefield, the sea is a living balance where predator, prey, and wanderer share the same blue world.
From above, the ocean seems peaceful, but beneath this endless sea lies a wild kingdom ruled by hunters.
The deeper we enter the ocean, the more the sea reveals a world where every movement can mean survival or death. In the ocean, beauty and danger live side by side, because even the safest reef can become a hunting ground.
Small fish survive in the ocean by becoming one body, because in the open sea, a single mistake can expose them to the hunter.
In the ocean, prey often feel danger before they can see it, because the sea carries pressure, movement, and fear.
Some ocean predators do not need to be giants. In the sea, speed, silence, and timing can be just as deadly.
In the ocean, survival can depend on a gap in the reef, a turn of the current, or one moment of perfect stillness.
Long before humans explored the ocean, sharks were already shaping the balance of the sea with silence, patience, and instinct.
A shark does not rule the ocean through chaos, but through senses refined by millions of years beneath the sea.
Beyond the reef, the ocean opens into a greater arena, where the sea gives no shelter and only the fastest hunters can survive.
Out here in the open ocean, the sea belongs to creatures built for distance, speed, and relentless pursuit. In the ocean, speed is not only movement. In the sea, speed is survival, power, and control.
Across the open sea, there are no walls, no caves, and no coral branches. Only speed can decide who escapes.
When fear spreads through the ocean, prey gather into one shining shape, hoping the sea will hide the individual inside the crowd. In the ocean, every hunt is a battle between panic and precision, and the sea rewards the hunter that chooses the perfect moment.
The surface of the ocean may look like escape, but in the sea, danger can attack from every direction.
Some ocean predators do not rule by force alone. In the sea, intelligence can turn open water into a trap. In the ocean, teamwork can change the rules of the hunt, because one predator may chase, but many predators can control the sea.
After every chase, the ocean becomes quiet again, but the silence of the sea is never empty.
The ocean is not ruled by one kind of hunter, because the sea creates many forms of power, and each one claims its own territory.
Not every hunter in the ocean chases across the open sea. Some wait where the ocean itself becomes a trap.
In these narrow parts of the sea, the fastest creature does not always win. The one that understands the terrain may hold the power.
In the ocean, patience can become a weapon, and a motionless hunter can be more dangerous than one in pursuit.
A hunt in the ocean does not always begin with a chase. Sometimes it begins with silence, distance, and one mistake. In the sea, a single second can separate safety from capture, and after the strike, the ocean becomes quiet again.
Some ocean predators do not patrol the open sea. They turn darkness inside the reef into a doorway for hunting.
In the ocean, the line between home and hunting ground can be almost invisible.
The ocean does not hide every threat in shadow. Sometimes the sea displays danger in color, shape, and stillness.
In the ocean, survival is not always about being the largest. Sometimes it is about being impossible to attack.
The ocean creates many kinds of predators, and each one rules only where its own strength becomes the perfect weapon.
Even in the gentle corners of the ocean, the sea never stops testing the young, the weak, and the careless. In the ocean, safety is often temporary, because every hiding place can become a path for another hunter.
Every ruler of the ocean begins as a survivor, learning how the sea moves, hides, and reveals life.
The ocean teaches patience before power, because even predators must grow into their place in the sea.
The ocean is not only a battlefield, the sea is a living balance where predator, prey, and wanderer share the same blue world.
In the sea, calm does not mean safety. It only means the next movement has not yet begun. Where the reef ends and the open ocean begins, the sea changes its rules, and every creature must choose how far it dares to go. In the ocean, power is sometimes felt before it is seen, because the sea remembers the shape of danger. The farther we move from the reef, the more the ocean becomes a place of distance, pressure, and hidden strength. Some ocean predators seem shaped by another age, built to read the invisible signals of life moving through the sea.
In the ocean, true power is not always loud. Sometimes the sea gives authority to those that move with perfect control.
Every predator leaves a mark on the ocean, but the sea quickly hides its secrets again.
Even in a sea of hunters, the ocean depends on moments of trust, pause, and delicate balance.
When light fades in the ocean, the sea does not sleep. It simply gives power to different hunters. At dusk, the ocean becomes a world of outlines, where the sea favors hunters that can sense more than they can see. In darkness, the ocean speaks through vibration, scent, pressure, and flashes of light. Far below the sunlit ocean, the sea creates hunters shaped by darkness, pressure, and patience. Some ocean rulers live so far from the surface that the sea allows us to know them only through shadows. To ask which creature rules the sea, we must first understand that the ocean is not one kingdom, but many. This is the wild ocean, a sea of predators, and the search for the creature that truly rules the water has only just begun.
Now the ocean opens into a world ruled by speed, where every second can decide who lives and who becomes the next meal. In the open sea, protection disappears, and the ocean belongs to creatures built to chase across the blue.
Among the ocean's speed hunters, tuna are built for endurance, crossing the sea with power that almost never rests. The ocean does not only reward the strongest body, the sea rewards the body that can turn energy into endless motion. In the ocean, speed becomes strategy when many hunters move as one force through the sea.
When prey gather in the ocean, the sea turns fear into shape, and every predator searches for the weakest opening. In the open ocean, a bait ball is not safety. It is a signal that the hunt has entered its most dangerous stage.
The ocean measures speed not only by how fast a hunter moves, but by how quickly it can change direction when the prey changes the story.
But the sea has many kinds of speed, and some ocean hunters are designed to strike alone.
A sailfish moves through the ocean like a blade of speed, turning the sea itself into a path of attack.
In the ocean, some predators use speed like a tool, not only to chase, but to cut, turn, and confuse.
The sea rewards the hunter that can read the movement of 1,000 fish and find the one mistake inside the crowd.
In the open ocean, escape is not a place, escape is a direction, and the hunter must close that direction before the prey finds it. Beyond the flash of the sailfish, the ocean holds another kind of speed, heavier, colder, and more explosive.
The mako shark is one of the Kaio pure speed hunters, built to turn muscle into explosive motion beneath the sea.
In the ocean, speed without control is wasted, and the true hunter must move fast and decide faster.
A single burst across the ocean can change the shape of the entire school, even when the strike itself is over in a heartbeat.
Sometimes the pressure of the ocean becomes so great that prey must leave the sea for a few seconds of hope. But the ocean always waits below, and every return to the sea brings the chase back into motion. But in the ocean, beauty can move with astonishing speed, and color can belong to a hunter as much as to the reef.
Open ocean hunters must read light as much as movement, because in the sea, a flash of silver can reveal the path of prey.
The open ocean is not empty. The sea is layered with hunters, each one built for a different kind of pursuit.
In the ocean, separation can be fatal, because the sea is most dangerous when a creature stands alone.
A barracuda does not need a long chase. In the ocean, it waits for the moment when distance becomes small enough to erase.
In the sea, straight-line speed can become a weapon when the predator knows exactly where the prey must turn next.
But in the ocean, speed becomes even more powerful when it is guided by memory, sound, and teamwork.
These ocean hunters do not simply follow prey. They shape the sea around it until escape becomes harder.
In the ocean, teamwork can turn empty water into invisible walls.
The sea does not give power to one design alone. The ocean creates many answers to the same hunger.
Even in the open ocean, the sea has hidden roads, and predators learn where life gathers. A hunter in the ocean must understand water, because the sea decides where food moves before the predator ever arrives. When millions of small fish move through the ocean, the sea becomes a signal that calls hunters from every direction.
In the ocean, a school survives by turning together, but the larger the school becomes, the more hunters it attracts.
The ocean's greatest hunts often begin when many predators follow the same signal of fear.
Here, speed rules the sea for a moment, but speed alone cannot explain the full power of the ocean. The ocean can turn from chaos to silence in seconds, and the sea keeps no witness for long. But below the speed of the open ocean, another kind of predator waits, older, quieter, and shaped by time. The fastest hunters may dominate the moment, but the ocean also belongs to predators that have survived for millions of years. Some ocean predators do not need to chase every movement, because their power lies in sensing when the sea is ready. Speed may rule the open ocean, but it is only one answer in the sea's long history of predators. The ocean demands balance from every hunter, because the sea punishes wasted energy as quickly as missed opportunity. To live by speed in the ocean is to live in constant motion, always chasing the next signal of life across the sea. The open sea has shown us hunters of speed, but the ocean's oldest predators are still waiting in the deeper blue. Long before speed ruled the open ocean, sharks were already mastering the sea through silence, senses, and survival. The next question is not how fast a predator can move, but how long a design can survive in the ocean. In the open sea, speed can rule the chase, but in the deeper ocean, something older is about to take control. Now we enter the world of sharks, ancient predators shaped by the ocean long before speed became a spectacle. A great white shark does not need to rush through the sea, because the ocean has already given it patience, strength, and perfect design. In the ocean, a shark is not a monster. It is a living record of millions of years of survival beneath the sea.
In the ocean, The hunt often begins long before the chase, when the predator studies movement from below.
A shark can turn the ocean's layers into strategy, using depth as cover and silence as pressure. In the sea, power is sometimes measured by the fear a predator creates without touching anything at all. Not every shark rules the ocean in the same way. Some move like wandering investigators of the sea.
A tiger shark survives in the ocean by being curious, adaptable, and willing to explore almost every edge of the sea. In the ocean, an apex predator can reshape a place simply by passing through it. The hammerhead shows how the ocean can shape a predator into something strange, precise, and perfectly suited to the sea.
In the sea, a predator does not need to see everything when it can feel the hidden movements of life. At the reef edge, sharks become part of the ocean's rhythm, arriving as light fades and confidence changes sides.
The reef shark rules through familiarity, knowing every current, corner, and shadow of its ocean territory.
Even sharks, the ocean's ancient hunters, are not separate from the balance of the sea. Some sharks carry the ocean's power into murkier borders, where the sea becomes harder to read. In unclear water, the ocean favors predators that can sense what others cannot see. In shallow ocean waters, smaller sharks prove that size is not the only path to control. Here, the ocean rewards agility, because a hunter must turn as quickly as the reef changes shape. A shark's power in the ocean is not only in motion, it is also in knowing when to remain still.
In the sea, energy is precious, and the best predators spend it only when the ocean gives them reason.
Not every shark dominates the ocean with speed. Some survive through persistence, smell, and careful searching.
The ocean has room for many kinds of shark, because survival in the sea is never one single strategy.
Far from land, the ocean becomes a desert of blue, and the patient predator may be the one that survives.
In the open ocean, a shark must become both hunter and traveler, crossing the sea with calm endurance.
The blue shark shows another face of ocean power, light, graceful, and built to roam the sea for extraordinary distances. In the ocean, endurance can be as powerful as speed, because the sea belongs to those that can keep moving. Every curve of a shark's body is an answer to the ocean, shaped by pressure, hunger, and motion.
Sharks are not one story in the ocean. They are many stories, written across reefs, coasts, open seas, and darkness.
Some sharks carry the ancient ocean into the deep, where speed gives way to pressure, darkness, and patience. In the deeper sea, a shark may not need to move quickly, because time itself becomes part of the hunt.
Some ocean predators seem to belong to another time, surviving not through speed, but through endurance beyond imagination.
Every ancient hunter of the ocean begins small, learning the sea before it can command it.
The ocean teaches every shark the first law of survival. Understand the water before trusting your strength.
When night enters the ocean, sharks gain an older advantage, moving through a sea of senses beyond sight.
In darkness, the ocean becomes a network of pressure, scent, and vibration, and the shark knows how to read it.
A shark changes the ocean around it, even when it does not strike, because every creature understands what its presence means. In the sea, predators do more than take life. They shape where life moves, hides, feeds, and survives.
Sometimes the ocean reveals a shark, not by showing the shark, but by showing the fear that moves ahead of it.
A shark's shape is one of the ocean's most recognizable symbols, because the sea has repeated its success for ages. The teeth of a shark are famous, but in the ocean, teeth are only one part of a far greater design.
The ocean does not fear sharks as outsiders. The sea depends on them as part of its ancient order.
Speed can dominate the chase, but sharks remind us that the ocean also rewards patience, senses, and time.
If the sea were ruled by age, survival, and design, sharks would stand among the strongest contenders.
But the ocean is too vast for one kind of power, and even sharks share the sea with rivals that hunt in different ways.
Beyond the ancient hunters, the sea holds predators whose greatest weapon is not teeth alone, but the mind. The ocean's next challenge to the shark is not only faster or larger, it is more coordinated. If sharks are the ocean's ancient design, then the next hunters may represent something even more difficult to face: intelligence.
Sharks have ruled the ocean through time, senses, and survival, but now the sea reveals hunters that rule through memory, teamwork, and strategy.
After the ancient power of sharks, the ocean now reveals predators whose greatest weapon is intelligence.
In the sea, one hunter can chase, but a family of hunters can plan.
Orcas do not simply move through the ocean. They read the sea, remember it, and share that knowledge with one another. In the ocean, communication can become a weapon when every member of the pod understands the same moment. The smartest predators in the ocean do not always attack first. Sometimes they shape the sea around the prey.
In open water, intelligence can turn the ocean itself into a trap.
Where tunas use speed and sharks use ancient senses, orcas use the ocean as a problem to be solved. The surface of the sea can become a ceiling when intelligent hunters understand how to use it.
In the ocean, the most powerful strike may come only after the prey has already lost every direction.
Orcas show that ruling the sea is not only about taking prey, but about knowing when not to waste effort.
In this ocean world, knowledge is passed through generations, carried by families that learn the sea together. Every young hunter in the ocean must learn not only how to move, but how to belong. In the vast ocean, a pod becomes more than a group. It becomes memory, protection, and strategy moving through the sea. Dolphins prove that in the ocean, speed becomes far more dangerous when guided by cooperation.
In the sea, teamwork can make open water feel smaller, closing escape routes that the prey cannot see.
Across the ocean, intelligence appears in many forms, but some hunters carry it with a scale few others can match.
Where the ocean grows colder and rougher, orcas carry their knowledge into hunts that require patience and planning.
Some hunts in the sea begin from below, where patience turns the ocean surface into a window.
The strength of a pod is not only in each body, but in the way every body understands the plan.
In the ocean, intelligence can strike through timing, making one shared movement stronger than 100 separate chases. After the hunt, the pod returns to order, because in the sea, survival depends on unity beyond the moment of attack. In this ocean world, sound can travel farther than sight, carrying intention through the sea.
Intelligent hunters do not only watch prey, they watch the ocean itself, because the sea decides where life gathers. To rule a moment in the ocean, a predator must understand not only the prey, but the water that carries it.
In the sea, a smart predator does not need to chase every turn if it can predict the next one. The ocean becomes a tool when intelligence turns bubbles, pressure, and shadow into signals of fear.
Here, the ocean shows a different kind of dominance, not the fastest chase, but the calm control of every choice the prey can make.
A successful ocean hunter does not need chaos to prove power. Sometimes control is the clearest sign of rule. The ocean is too vast for instinct alone. To survive here, a predator must remember where the sea has fed it before.
In the open sea, intelligence stretches across distance, keeping the pod connected even when the ocean separates them. A pod survives by sharing attention, because in the ocean, one set of eyes is never enough. Sharks carry the old power of the ocean, but orcas bring a new kind of challenge: coordinated minds moving as one.
The sea does not crown a ruler easily, because every predator dominates only where its strength becomes perfect.
What makes orcas extraordinary is not only what they can hunt, but how they choose, learn, and adapt across the ocean.
In the ocean, memory can become territory, and experience can become a map no human eye can see.
The greatest hunters in the sea do not only react to the ocean, they anticipate it. When intelligence meets landscape, the ocean floor itself becomes part of the hunt. In the sea, a smart predator lets the ocean do part of the work. Even when prey escapes, the lesson remains, because every hunt teaches the pod more about the sea. To look at an orca in the ocean is to see power joined with awareness, strength guided by relationship.
Their world is not silent to them. The ocean is filled with signals we can barely imagine.
The ocean has shown us speed, senses, and strength, but intelligence may be the force that connects them all.
But even the smartest hunters of the sea do not rule every depth of the ocean. Below the pod, the ocean changes again, and intelligence must give way to darkness, pressure, and strange forms of survival.
The ocean's most intelligent hunters have shown their power, but the sea still hides predators that rule by secrecy. If orcas challenge the ocean with intelligence, the next hunters challenge it with patience, camouflage, and life in darkness. The search for the creature that rules the sea now descends into the hidden ocean, where the strangest hunters wait in silence.
After traveling through speed, teeth, intelligence, and darkness, the ocean leaves us with one question: who truly rules the sea?
The answer is not hidden in one place, because the ocean itself is made of many worlds. In the deep sea, survival belongs to patience, camouflage, and forms of life shaped by pressure. Some ocean predators rule by remaining unseen, holding power in the places where sunlight never reaches. But the ocean is not only darkness. Above the deep, another kind of power waits in the open blue. In the open sea, speed can rule the moment, because the ocean gives no shelter to the slow. The speed hunters command the chase, but even they cannot rule every depth, every reef, and every darkness of the sea. Speed is one answer to the ocean, but it is an answer that must be repeated every day. Then come the sharks, predators whose power is not only speed, but time itself.
Sharks have survived by becoming almost perfectly matched to the ocean's demands.
From reefs to open water, sharks shape where life moves, hides, and feeds in the sea.
A shark can change the ocean without striking, because every creature understands what its shape means.
Sharks are not a single answer. They are many ocean solutions refined across millions of years.
But if sharks are the ancient power of the sea, orcas challenge the ocean with something different.
Orcas bring intelligence, memory, and teamwork into the ocean's struggle for power.
Their strength is not held in one body, but in the knowledge shared through the pod.
In open water, orcas can turn the sea itself into a trap.
Where many predators chase, orcas calculate, and that makes them one of the strongest contenders for the ocean's crown.
Their power is not only in what they hunt, but in how carefully they choose each movement.
The sea does not offer one simple throne, because every layer rewards a different kind of hunter.
To rule the ocean completely, a creature would need to master speed, strength, patience, senses, darkness, and cooperation all at once.
On the reef, the ruler may not be the largest, but the one that knows every shadow and escape route. On the seafloor, power belongs to those that understand vibration, scent, and the quiet language of sand. In the open ocean, the ruler of one moment may be the creature that reaches the prey first.
But even the fastest hunter depends on the ocean's currents, because the sea decides where life will concentrate.
When night enters the ocean, vision loses power, and the sea gives advantage to those that can hunt through darkness.
In darkness, the ocean belongs to creatures that can turn uncertainty into survival. In the deep sea, the question of rule becomes harder, because the strongest hunters are often the least visible. Here, power may belong to the creature that waits longest and spends the least. The ocean has shown us that dominance is not one thing. It changes with depth, light, current, and hunger. The sea is not ruled like a kingdom on land. It is ruled in moments, zones, and strategies. Every predator shapes the ocean, but none stands outside the balance that supports it.
The sea survives because predators prevent weakness from becoming collapse, keeping life moving through the system.
Fear is part of the ocean, but so is renewal, because every hunt returns energy to the sea.
If one creature comes closest to ruling the sea, the orca stands among the strongest answers.
With strength, strategy, family, and intelligence, orcas combine many forms of ocean power into one living force. Yet even the orca cannot rule every trench, every reef, every current, and every darkness of the sea.
Perhaps the true ruler is not one creature, but the ocean itself, shaping every hunter that tries to survive within it.
The sea creates speed in one place, patience in another, intelligence in another, and mystery in the deepest dark.
For the small creatures of the ocean, the ruler is whichever predator appears in the next shadow. Every decision in the ocean is shaped by risk, and every risk is shaped by the hunters waiting beyond sight. The ocean does not need one ruler to remain powerful. It is powerful because every layer has its own master. To understand the sea is to accept that power here is shared, contested, and constantly changing.
From above, the ocean may look peaceful, but now we know what moves beneath that calm blue skin.
No single creature owns the ocean completely, but every great predator reveals one part of what it takes to rule the sea.
The tuna rules the chase, the shark rules through ancient design, the orca rules through intelligence, and the deep sea rules through mystery.
Among them, the orca may stand as the strongest contender, but even it remains a child of the sea. The ocean does not stop for any ruler. It moves, changes, hides, and begins again. To rule the sea is not to conquer it, but to survive inside its endless changes. Every hunter in the ocean depends on something greater than itself: the current, the prey, the darkness, and the balance of the sea.
The sea is beautiful because it is alive. And it is alive because every creature must find its place within the hunt.
So which creature rules the sea? The answer depends on where in the ocean you are, and what kind of power the moment demands.
In one place, speed rules. In another, teeth. In another, intelligence. In another, darkness. But above them all, the ocean rules them together, shaping every predator and every prey beneath its endless surface. This is the wild ocean, a world where no crown lasts forever, and every ruler must answer to the sea. To the human eye, the Pacific Ocean still looks peaceful, but beneath this sea, the balance is already beginning to change. Inside the upper ocean, warmth begins to gather, forming the first quiet signal of El Niño. El Niño is not a single wave in the sea, It is a warm ocean pattern spreading silently through the Pacific.
The Pacific Ocean is layered like a living system, and when the surface sea grows too warm, the deeper balance begins to weaken.
This warmth does not crash through the sea. It expands quietly, changing the Pacific Ocean one layer at a time.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the smallest coral movements reveal how warmth begins to press against life.
In the sea, behavior changes before disaster becomes visible, and the Pacific Ocean records every movement.
Before storms shift across the planet, the first signal begins here, among the smallest life in the Pacific Ocean Sea. The Pacific Ocean Sea is warming from above, but the next question is what this warmth will do to the winds above the water.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is no longer only storing heat, it is beginning to guide the air above the water.
The warmer the Pacific Ocean Sea becomes, the more the sky above it begins to build new patterns. Even beneath the surface, the Pacific Ocean Sea reflects the change above it, as warmth connects water, sky, and life. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life begins to adjust before the full force of El Niño is seen.
From this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the signal is no longer hidden underwater. It is now rising into the sky and moving outward.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life is still moving, but the rhythm of the water has already begun to slow. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warm water is no longer trapped where it once belonged. A clear sea can look peaceful, but in the Pacific Ocean, fewer nutrients can mean less life. The Pacific Ocean Sea releases heat into the air, and the air begins building new weather. When the sea changes, the sky does not remain still.
The ocean engine has not stopped, but across this Pacific Ocean Sea, its rhythm has changed.
Inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life follows currents that are no longer behaving as they once did.
What begins below the 4K Pacific Ocean sea surface now reaches into the sky above it.
The warm Pacific Ocean Sea has become a signal, and the atmosphere has begun to respond.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is now shaping the first chapter of global disruption.
The weakened winds above have changed the water below, and the Pacific Ocean Sea now carries that stress through life itself.
As this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea warms and spreads, the next impact will be felt by the life that depends on it.
The trade winds have weakened, the warm sea has spread, and now the Pacific Ocean's living world must face the pressure.
Now the warm Pacific Ocean Sea reaches the living world, and the first pressure is felt beneath the waves.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, coral survives by balance, and El Niño begins to press against that balance.
The sea still glows with color, but the Pacific Ocean is no longer feeding the reef with the same strength.
Across this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, small fish begin to move because the water around them has changed.
In the Pacific Ocean Sea, clear water can hide a dangerous truth when the smallest life begins to disappear.
Before the larger animals suffer, the first change begins here, in the smallest drifting life of the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea.
When warm Pacific Ocean seawater reduces the rising nutrients, the food chain begins to weaken from the bottom.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, hunger does not arrive as a single moment. It spreads through movement. The Pacific Ocean Sea is one connected system, and a change at the surface reaches life below.
Even near the reef floor, this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea carries the pressure of warming water. As the Pacific Ocean Sea warms, life searches for shade, depth, and every small refuge the reef can offer. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, when small fish scatter, larger hunters must follow the change.
The Pacific Ocean Sea begins rearranging the paths of hunters, prey, and every creature between them. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth changes not only where life feeds, but where life can remain.
The ocean is becoming divided, and every layer of the Pacific Ocean Sea now carries a different risk.
Coral does not need to vanish overnight. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, stress can begin with a fading color.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is still alive, but El Niño begins to lower the energy of the reef.
When the sea changes, survival may mean leaving familiar waters behind.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, even a school can begin to lose its shape when the ocean's rhythm changes.
The living sea below and the changing sky above are now part of the same El Niño story.
Across this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the absence of movement becomes as important as the movement itself.
The Pacific Ocean Sea changes slowly, but every animal moving through it must respond immediately.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, beauty remains, but abundance begins to thin.
A reef inside the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea depends on movement, and when movement weakens, life waits.
The open Pacific Ocean Sea can look endless, but during El Niño, it can also become strangely empty. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, movement becomes a gamble between heat, hunger, and survival.
Even when life finds another reef, the Pacific Ocean Sea carries the same warm pressure with it.
The stress of the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea reaches into places the eye almost misses. When the sea holds less food, every feeding movement costs more energy.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the food web does not break all at once. It loosens strand by strand.
The Pacific Ocean Sea reveals the chain of life through layers, and every layer now feels the warmth.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea remains beautiful, but beauty does not mean the system is safe.
The Pacific Ocean Sea carries stress below and sends signals above. El Niño does not need to erase life at once. In the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, it changes where life can thrive. The deeper sea may offer cooler water, but it also changes the rules of feeding and survival.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, escaping warmth can mean leaving abundance behind.
The Pacific Ocean Sea becomes a narrowing space where life must choose between light, food, and temperature.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, stress changes not only where animals go, but how they meet each other.
Even the strongest hunters in the Pacific Ocean Sea depend on the smallest drifting life.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea shows the food web without words, from invisible life to visible struggle.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has stressed its living world, and now the warmth begins to move rainfall across the sky.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has stressed its living world, and now the warmth begins to move rainfall across the sky.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life below and rain above are connected by the same warmth.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is not silent because nothing is happening. It is silent because life is adjusting under pressure.
As the living sea adapts, the next signal rises into the air, where rain will shift and drought will spread. From this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the pressure now moves beyond marine life and into the movement of clouds. The Pacific Ocean Sea has changed beneath the waves, and next, the rain begins to move, and distant lands will feel the ocean's heat. The warm Pacific Ocean Sea has stressed the life beneath it, and now the sky will carry that disruption outward. From this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, rain begins to move away from its old rhythm. The Pacific Ocean Sea gives the sky heat and moisture, and the sky begins to build rain in new places.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, One area receives heavy rain, while another waits beneath a silent sky.
The rain falls back into the sea, but the pattern that created it is already moving outward. El Niño does not make the whole ocean sky wet. It shifts where the Pacific Ocean Sea sends its moisture. Across this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth chooses where clouds rise and where clouds fail to form.
Even beneath the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea surface, the movement of rain above becomes part of the ocean's story.
The ocean now carries two signals at once: heavy rain over one sea region and dryness over another. The Pacific Ocean Sea becomes the path of a moving climate signal.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the shadows of clouds reveal where the atmosphere is being rearranged.
The warmer Pacific Ocean Sea feeds stronger clouds, but it also pulls rainfall away from its usual places.
Over this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, rain is no longer evenly shared by the sky. A few miles across the sea can separate a flooded sky from an empty one. In the dry side of this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, even the water column feels still and exposed.
The living sea moves through the same boundaries that shape rain above it.
Where the Pacific Ocean Sea gives warmth to the sky, rain can fall harder and longer.
The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea becomes a reservoir of energy for clouds that grow beyond their normal limits.
El Niño can make one sky overflow while another sky is left waiting. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, drought begins not with dust, but with clouds that fail to form.
The sea remains full of water, yet the sky above it can still become dry.
Across the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, one connected body of water can create very different skies. Even underwater, the Pacific Ocean Sea can reveal where rain gathers and where dryness remains.
The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea does not separate climate from life. It carries both through every current.
Rain moves across this Pacific Ocean Sea like a shifting line between abundance and absence.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea shows the pattern without words. Rain moves, and dryness spreads behind it.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is now a moving stage, where wet and dry patterns trade places. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the absence of rain becomes its own kind of warning. When the sky above the sea stays empty, the water below can grow warmer and quieter. The living world inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea must adjust to heat from above and hunger from below.
The Pacific Ocean Sea carries one story below the waves and another above them, but both are driven by the same warmth.
Where the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea feeds the clouds, rainfall can become heavier than the landscape beyond the ocean is ready to receive. The rain begins above the sea, but the consequences will not stay above the sea.
The Pacific Ocean Sea remains the engine, even when the rain it creates moves far beyond the horizon.
While one path carries rain away from the Pacific Ocean Sea, another path is left under a sky that gives nothing back.
Drought is not only cracked ground. Over this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, it begins as missing clouds.
The dry sky above and the warm sea below become two pressures on the same living ocean. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, dryness above the water can deepen the stress within the water. Across the Pacific Ocean Sea, El Niño draws a line between too much rain and not enough. This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea connects the extremes, turning warmth into imbalance.
The ocean does not choose disaster, but when the Pacific Ocean Sea shifts, the atmosphere must follow.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth rises, rain falls, and the cycle grows stronger.
From above, the clouds look powerful, but below them, the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is still the source.
The sea below has changed the rhythm, and the sky now plays unevenly above it.
The Pacific Ocean Sea keeps its warmth after the rain moves on, preparing the next shift in weather.
Every rainfall pattern above this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea leaves a trace beneath the surface. The ocean current carries heat, the sky carries rain, and El Niño connects them both. Now the shifting rain becomes only part of a larger disruption rising from the Pacific Ocean Sea. This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is no longer only moving rain, it is feeding larger atmospheric consequences. Rain moves, drought spreads, and the Pacific Ocean Sea continues sending heat into a restless planet. The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea now holds the full chain: warm water, weak winds, stressed life, and moving rain. From this Pacific Ocean Sea, the rain has shifted and drought has spread. Next, the heat will rise into storms and global consequences.
From this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the heat now rises into storms, temperature, and global consequences.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has stored the heat, and now the sky begins to use it. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth becomes energy, and energy begins to build storms. The storm above the sea is not separate from the ocean below. It is born from the heat rising out of the Pacific. Even beneath this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the storm leaves its pressure in light, current, and movement. The living world inside the Pacific Ocean Sea moves deeper as heat and weather intensify above. The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea feeds the rain, and the rain returns to the sea with greater force. Across this Pacific Ocean Sea, the storm expands because the warmth beneath it does not fade.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, extremes can exist side by side, connected by the same warm pattern.
The Pacific Ocean Sea may calm between storms, but the heat remains, waiting beneath the surface.
Inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, beauty hides the accumulated heat that keeps the disturbance alive.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is not only warmer at the surface, it is reorganized from the surface downward.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, storms above and hunger below are part of the same chain.
The Pacific Ocean Sea does not need to destroy a reef at once. Sustained heat can weaken it day by day.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the cost of heat is written in small fading colors. When the Pacific Ocean Sea changes, even the hunters must follow a food web that no longer holds its old shape.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea still looks endless, but endless water does not always mean endless life.
The living sea below and the changing storm sky above are locked in one Pacific Ocean pattern.
Above this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the atmosphere grows more restless as heat continues to rise.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has moved from silence into force, and the consequences are expanding.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, heat, rain, wind, and cloud now move as one disturbed system.
The sea gives energy to the storm, and the storm gives motion back to the sea.
Beneath this 4K Pacific Ocean sea storm, life continues, but every movement becomes more demanding.
The Pacific Ocean Sea carries the storm downward, turning surface violence into underwater stress. Even away from the storm, this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea remains part of the same heat-driven pattern.
The Pacific Ocean Sea does not only move storms, its warmth can lift the temperature of the planet.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, heat rises quietly, but its reach can extend far beyond the water. For life inside the Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth changes where safety, food, and survival can be found. This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is still living, but its living systems are working harder than before.
As the Pacific Ocean Sea warms, movement becomes survival for creatures that once stayed close to home.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, one pressure rarely travels alone. The Pacific Ocean Sea keeps feeding the sky, and the sky keeps answering with stronger signals. Across this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the consequences spread in waves of cloud, rain, heat, and wind. What began as shifted rain over the Pacific Ocean Sea now grows into larger atmospheric force.
The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea carries the storm above into the behavior of life below.
In the Pacific Ocean Sea, the consequences of El Niño are felt as heat, shadow, hunger, and caution.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea changes the rules for prey and predator alike.
When the sea becomes less predictable, even power must travel farther. The storm moves on, but the Pacific Ocean Sea keeps the heat that helped create it. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, calm is no longer an ending, it is only a pause before the next response.
The Pacific Ocean Sea now holds many futures at once: storm, heat, drought, and shifting life.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea teaches that quiet water can still carry deep disruption. The global story returns to the Reef, where the Pacific Ocean Sea records heat in living color. Every chapter of El Niño remains connected inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is beautiful, but during El Niño, beauty and danger share the same horizon.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea has sent its warmth into the sky, into life, and into the planet's wider climate.
From one warm ocean pattern, the Pacific Ocean Sea has disturbed wind, rain, storms, heat, and life.
Beneath the 4K Pacific Ocean sea surface, the living world continues under the weight of a changed climate rhythm. After the force of storms and heat, the Pacific Ocean Sea becomes quieter, but the consequences remain. The Pacific Ocean Sea has shown its power, and now the question becomes what this connected planet can learn from it.
The storms have risen, the heat has spread, and the Pacific Ocean Sea has revealed one truth.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea shows that climate is not a single event, but a moving connection between water, wind, cloud, and life.
The Pacific Ocean Sea does not forget heat quickly. It carries warmth through time, current, and weather. Beneath this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life continues, not untouched, but still moving through change. In the Pacific Ocean Sea, survival is not only resistance, it is adjustment, movement, and patience.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea reminds us that life can endure, but endurance is not the same as safety.
The Pacific Ocean Sea writes its history in coral color, in fish movement, and in every current that returns.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, balance does not return all at once. It begins in small movements.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is a layered world, and every layer depends on the others.
From the deep sea to the surface, the Pacific Ocean carries one connected climate story.
Above this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the sky begins to slow, but it still follows the memory of the water below.
A calm Pacific Ocean Sea is not an empty system. It is still exchanging heat, moisture, and motion with the world.
The winds over this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea may strengthen again, but the lesson of El Niño remains.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is always moving toward balance. even after balance has been disturbed.
Inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, recovery begins as motion slowly becomes familiar again.
The Pacific Ocean Sea connects reef to reef, current to current, and life to life across distances too large to see.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life does not return to the past. It continues into the conditions the ocean gives it.
A reef is not separate from the Pacific Ocean Sea. It is a living expression of the sea's temperature, light, and current. The Pacific Ocean Sea is not simply water. It is connection made visible.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea joins the living world below with the moving atmosphere above.
Rain may weaken, clouds may thin, but the Pacific Ocean Sea still guides where moisture travels.
To understand El Niño, we must understand that the sea does not act alone, and nothing on Earth is truly separate.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is a climate engine, but it is also a mirror of planetary connection. Every descent into this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea reveals the same truth. The planet's systems are woven together.
The Pacific Ocean Sea breathes through currents, and when that breath changes, the world changes with it.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the smallest life is connected to the largest climate pattern. The sea can recover in fragments, and those fragments matter. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, adaptation is written in every turn of a fish school. The Pacific Ocean Sea is never only disaster, it is also persistence. From beneath the waves to the clouds above, this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea has carried the entire story. The same Pacific Ocean Sea we saw at the beginning now means something different.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is not distant from the planet. It is one of the planet's deepest voices.
The ocean shapes the sky, and the sky returns to shape the ocean.
Beneath this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, every creature lives inside a climate system larger than itself.
The Pacific Ocean Sea teaches us that fragility and strength can exist in the same living world. One reef is small, but the sea that surrounds it is part of a planetary network.
To follow El Niño is to follow the Pacific Ocean Sea, from hidden warmth to global consequence.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is vast enough to seem silent, yet powerful enough to change the rhythm of Earth. El Niño may rise and fade, but the connection it reveals never disappears.
The Pacific Ocean Sea seeks balance again. But balance is always moving, never fixed.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life continues not because the ocean is easy, but because life has always followed change. Every living place inside the Pacific Ocean Sea depends on forces far beyond its own horizon. The sea below and the sky above are never separate. They are one moving system. A single warm pattern in the Pacific Ocean Sea can travel through wind, rain, storm, reef, and life.
To watch this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is to watch the planet breathing through water.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has shown us that Earth is not a collection of separate places, but one connected system. The story began with warmth in the sea, and it ends with a deeper understanding of what that warmth can mean.
Even when the Pacific Ocean Sea is calm, it is still shaping the future of wind, rain, and life.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is more than a place. It is one of Earth's greatest climate forces. El Niño reminds us that the ocean does not need to shout to be heard across the planet.
Beneath the surface of the Red Sea, an ancient ocean world waits in silence.
At first, the ocean appears peaceful, but the Red Sea has never been truly still. This is more than a reef. It is a living ocean fortress, built slowly by the ancient sea. In this sea, even the smallest life becomes part of a greater design. The ocean writes its history in sand, stone, and the silent movement of life. Where small fish gather in the open sea, unseen hunters are never far away. But in the Red Sea, survival often depends on knowing when to vanish into the ocean shadows. Every creature in this ocean listens through movement, sensing danger before it appears.
The Red Sea does not always reveal its predators. Sometimes, the ocean only reveals their silence.
In the Red Sea, silence is not emptiness. It is the language of survival.
Every reef in this ancient ocean is both shelter and trap.
To rise into open water is to trade darkness for exposure. In this sea, the smallest movement can travel farther than sound. The ocean often reveals danger through those who fear it first. Before a hunter appears, the Red Sea often becomes strangely calm.
Here, beauty is camouflage, and color can hide both fear and hunger.
The ancient ocean is built from thousands of hiding places, and each one has a story.
To follow the reef inward is to enter the older memory of the sea.
And in the quiet heart of the Red Sea, the first silent hunters begin to wake. The Red Sea ocean does not rush its stories. It lets the darkness speak first. In this ancient sea, every shadow belongs to the reef, and every reef belongs to the hunt. Peace returns quickly in the ocean, but never completely. The Red Sea is a world of openings, shelters, edges, and unseen paths.
Where the reef begins to fall, the rules of the sea begin to change.
Even the sand of this ocean is alive with movement, warning, and escape. Some predators in the Red Sea do not chase. They become part of the ocean itself.
In this ancient sea, the difference between stone and hunter can disappear.
The ocean teaches every creature to read shape, shadow, and silence.
And beyond the reef, the Red Sea ocean begins to reveal the shape of its hunters. The Red Sea ocean gives only glimpses, never answers too soon. Out here, away from the reef, the ocean becomes a place of distance, patience, and hidden movement.
A school survives because many eyes become one mind inside the sea.
When the ocean suddenly opens around them, the warning has already begun. In the Red Sea, the first sign of a predator is often the silence it leaves behind.
Every crack in this ocean wall can become a doorway for hunger.
The ocean does not need noise to create fear.
Separation is the moment the ancient sea has always understood.
For the hunted, the ocean is measured in inches, shadows, and seconds. And ahead, where the Red Sea bends into darkness, the hunters wait without a sound. The deeper the Red Sea Ocean draws us in, the more its silence begins to feel alive.
In this ancient sea, the hunter does not need to be seen to be felt.
The Red Sea records every movement, even when the creature that made it has already vanished. Every arch, cave, and hollow in this ocean can become a waiting mouth.
Here, survival belongs to those who can become invisible inside the sea.
The Red Sea does not separate beauty from danger. It weaves them into the same silence.
The hunted may escape one shadow, but the ocean is filled with many.
This ancient ocean is not random. Every ledge, current, and shadow shapes the lives within it. In the Red Sea, peace is only a pause between movements. And now, beneath the beauty of this ancient sea, the silent predators of the Red Sea begin to emerge. Beneath the beauty of the Red Sea Ocean, the hunters are already in position. Some predators in this ancient sea do not chase. They wait beautifully. In the Red Sea, danger can be graceful enough to be mistaken for beauty.
Inside the reef, the Red Sea shelters hunters built for patience.
The ancient ocean gives even its fiercest hunters a place to remain unseen. Every hollow in this sea may be empty, or it may be waiting. Strength in the Red Sea Ocean is often hidden beneath stillness. A hunter does not always need speed. Sometimes it only needs the perfect place. On the ocean floor, the Red Sea teaches predators how to become stone.
In this sea, survival may depend on seeing what does not wish to be seen.
The Red Sea Ocean has hunters that hide not in darkness, but beneath the sand. What looks like empty sand may rise and move with the patience of the sea itself. Beyond the Coral Kingdom, the Red Sea holds hunters made for open water. Here, the reef ends, and the open ocean begins to choose its victims. Some predators carry the authority of the ocean in their movement alone. The Red Sea Ocean is divided between those who hide and those who patrol. Among the silent hunters of this sea, some survive by changing who they appear to be. In the Red Sea, camouflage is not only disguise, it is a language written across living skin. Even in the smallest openings of this ocean, power can wait in silence. The Coral Kingdom hides its hunters beneath color, texture, and time. The Red Sea Ocean is not ruled by one hunter, but by many forms of patience. Some hunters wait at the edge of traffic, where the reef forces life to pass close. For small life in the Red Sea, every shortcut may pass through danger.
The ancient sea rewards those who can wait longer than fear can last.
In this ocean, shape can become a mask. The reef does not need cages. It builds its traps from current, shelter, and habit. The Red Sea hides power inside narrow spaces. In this ancient sea, the hunters do not need to gather. The reef gathers prey for them.
The coral kingdom is beautiful because it is alive, and dangerous because everything alive must feed.
To leave the reef is to enter another kind of silence. Some hunters are built for the moment when stillness breaks.
In the ocean, fear travels faster than the hunter itself.
The Red Sea turns beauty into a wall and patience into a weapon. Here, the line between animal and landscape becomes almost impossible to draw. Below the coral, the Red Sea holds a second world of tunnels and teeth.
Not all hunters in this ocean hide in shadow. Some hide beneath light.
The ancient sea is full of hunters too small to cast a shadow.
In this ocean, intelligence can hide inside a changing shape.
The Red Sea does not always show the hunter leaving. Sometimes, it simply closes around it.
At the edge of the reef, silence becomes distance, and distance becomes threat.
The Red Sea Ocean is a kingdom of levels, and each level has its own hunter. Each predator holds one piece of the ancient sea's balance.
For those who are hunted, the Red Sea is a maze that changes with every current. Every passage through this ocean demands a choice between risk and refuge. The silent predators of the Red Sea do not announce themselves. They let the reef speak for them.
In this ancient sea, life returns to calm because danger never truly leaves.
Now that the hunters have been revealed, the ancient ocean will show how they survive. The Red Sea has shown us where its predators hide. Next, it will reveal how silence becomes the perfect weapon. The Red Sea has shown us where its predators wait. Now, the ancient ocean reveals how they hunt.
In this sea, a hunter may begin the hunt without moving forward.
The lionfish does not need to rush. It lets the ocean current and its own beauty close the distance.
In the Red Sea, escape routes can become traps before the hunted understands the shape of danger. The great ambush hunters of this ocean save their strength for a single perfect moment.
Timing is the oldest language of the sea.
Some hunters in the Red Sea survive by becoming the place where they wait.
In this ancient ocean, the most dangerous shape may be the one that seems to have no shape at all. The Red Sea turns ordinary pathways into hunting lines.
The hunt begins long before movement. It begins with choosing where the sea will bring life next. In the coral kingdom, even a body shape can become camouflage.
To vanish in the Red Sea, a predator does not always need darkness. Sometimes it only needs imitation. Few hunters in this ancient sea understand disguise as deeply as the octopus. Across its skin, the ocean writes a disguise that can change from one breath to the next. The Red Sea rewards hunters that can move without becoming a signal. Even the smallest chambers of this ocean can hold sudden power.
Here, silence is not weakness. It is control.
The reef is not only a home, it is a strategy built from stone, current, and instinct. A cave hunter turns darkness into territory.
In this ocean, even fear must share the reef with delicate life.
For prey, the Red Sea is not a landscape. It is a sequence of decisions.
The seafloor watches upward, with eyes the reef has taught us to miss.
In this ancient ocean, patience often lasts longer than opportunity.
Open water hunters use distance the way reef hunters use shadow.
A predator can control a place without touching anything inside it. When stillness breaks, the ocean becomes a storm of decisions.
The hunt does not end when the hunter disappears. It remains in the memory of movement.
The Red Sea hides danger by making it look old.
When everything moves except one thing, the ocean asks us to look again.
Ambush in the Red Sea is not always sudden. Sometimes it is arranged slowly.
The predator is only half the trap. The other half is the reef.
In this ocean, one wrong path can bring the hunted into another hunter's patience. The Red Sea is full of moments where survival depends on stopping in time. Some hunters hide inside the reef. Others let the entire ocean announce their path. In the ancient sea, fear connects lives that never meet. The art of silence belongs not only to giants, but to the smallest hunters of the reef. The Red Sea does not rely on one kind of predator. It builds balance through many kinds of silence.
Current brings food, and with food comes attention. Every feast in this sea has an audience.
When the moment finally comes, the ocean barely has time to notice.
The Red Sea closes over every hunt, leaving only movement where fear had been.
For the hunter that can change its skin, the reef itself becomes a mask.
Not every opportunity is taken. The Red Sea teaches its hunters to choose carefully. The art of survival here is not only hunting, but knowing when not to hunt. The hunted draw the map of the predators without ever naming them. Every predator here has a method, and every method belongs to the ancient sea.
As light begins to weaken, the rules of silence become even stronger.
Daylight exposes the hunters, but dusk begins to return them to shadow.
The Dale's silent hunters have shown their craft, but the Red Sea has another world waiting after dark.
As the ancient ocean darkens, patience begins to change into movement.
In the Red Sea, silence has mastered the day. Now, the night will give it a deeper voice. As daylight leaves the Red Sea ocean, silence deepens into something older. The reef does not sleep when the light disappears. It changes who is allowed to move. When night enters the Red Sea, even the coral begins to hunt.
The smallest hunters of this ancient ocean
awaken before the larger shadows begin to move. Darkness does not empty the Red Sea. It reveals another ocean within it. By day, the cave protected the hunter. By night, the hunter leaves the cave behind. The night reef belongs to those who know every tunnel in the ancient sea. At night, the Red Sea shortens the space between danger and life. The lionfish becomes more haunting when the ocean loses its color.
In the night sea, patience becomes harder to see and easier to obey.
Beneath the night water, even the sand may be alive. The Red Sea hides movement beneath stillness until the moment it chooses to rise. Night gives the octopus a larger canvas for disguise. In this ancient sea, intelligence moves without footsteps. The best hunters of the night know that not every movement must become an attack. At night, the ocean hides the hunter until the hunted begins to move differently. The open sea grows wider in darkness, and the hunters of distance become harder to read. In daylight, distance can be measured. At night, distance becomes mystery. The night reef feeds in every direction, from the smallest tentacle to the largest shadow. Under darkness, the Red Sea becomes a universe of small hunters. Night does not silence the Red Sea. It changes the scale of its voices. A hunter built for tunnels becomes bolder when the sea itself turns dark. Below the coral, the Red Sea keeps secret roads for those who know how to follow darkness. Some hunters do not need to roam far. They let the night bring life toward them. At night, the reef becomes a map of angles, openings, and mistakes. The largest shadows of the Red Sea need only pass once to change the behavior of many. In the dark sea, a shadow can become a warning that lasts longer than the shadow itself. In the Red Sea night, living skin can become moving shadow.
The night ocean belongs to those who can move without breaking the pattern.
While some lives hide from the night, others begin their search. The night gives the lionfish a slower stage and darker wings. On the seafloor, the smallest journey can cross the path of intelligence. The ancient ocean teaches hunters that a missed chance can still be wisdom. Power in the night reef often waits behind the smallest door.
The deeper we look into this sea, the more hunters the darkness reveals.
The Red Sea at night is not the same ocean. It is the hidden half of the ancient world. In darkness, the sea often tells us what is near by showing what changes direction.
At the edge of the night reef, the ancient sea becomes depth without end.
Large hunters do not need to disturb the ocean. They move through it like memory.
Every life here changes the life beside it.
The night shows the Red Sea as a chain of hunger, movement, and balance. Nothing in this ancient ocean hunts alone. Every hunt belongs to something larger. The smallest drifting life can shape the path of the largest hunter. By night, the Red Sea reveals the hidden pattern that daylight disguises. Even before dawn arrives, the night sea begins to prepare for another change.
The Red Sea does not change all at once. It trades one silence for another.
The hunters of darkness do not vanish. They become part of the reef again.
By morning, the Red Sea looks peaceful, but the night has left its mark in every movement. Night has shown us the hidden hunters of the Red Sea. Now, the ancient ocean will reveal how every life feeds the next.
Every story of survival in the Red Sea ocean begins with something almost too small to see.
The current does not simply move water, it carries the first meal of the reef.
The coral that builds this ocean world also joins the endless act of feeding. From drifting life, the reef receives energy, and from that energy, movement begins. These small fish transform invisible life into motion, color, and opportunity.
The food chain of the Red Sea is not a straight line. It is a web of feeding, cleaning, guarding, and escape.
Even those that do not hunt reshape the ancient ocean with every bite.
Nothing wasted in the Red Sea truly disappears. It descends into another life. At the bottom of the sea, feeding and hiding often happen in the same breath.
In the ancient sea, survival is not only competition. Sometimes it is an agreement.
Even hunters must sometimes enter the economy of the reef.
Where food gathers life, life gathers danger. The same current that feeds the small also guides them past the patient.
The Red Sea turns feeding routes into hunting routes. Every escape in this ancient ocean may lead past another mouth.
The hunter waits where the ocean teaches the prey to return.
As the chain moves away from the reef, the hunters become larger and the distance becomes dangerous.
The presence of a predator can shape the sea before the predator acts.
Hunger pulls life outward.